Hivin and Vibin with Dr. Bibi.
This is Hivin and Vibin with Dr. Bibi, and here I have with me Joanna Zhang. Joanna Zhang is the founder of Operations Genius, creator of the world's first fractional VA service, and winner of the 2024 Stevie International Business Award for Innovation. Wow. An international speaker and advocate for conscious leadership, Joanna helps entrepreneurs scale with operational freedom, energy alignment, and soul led strategy. Her work blends practical systems with a deeply human approach, caring for every client and team member as a whole person. Through her mission, Joanna empowers business owners to grow sustainably, aligned with their true purpose, and create ventures that are both profitable and profoundly fulfilling. Welcome, Joanne. I'm glad you are here with me today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for spending this time together, Banya.
Yeah, I truly believe that, we have something really worth, sharing with our audience here today. And there will be quite a lot of things that I'll learn from you because conscious leadership is something that I'm very much interested in. And of course, there are many other aspects which I'm going to pick up one slowly at a time. But I will begin with congratulations for your 2024 Stevie International Business Award for Innovation. That was amazing. How did you do it?
How? Wow, that's really interesting question because to be honest with you, many years I've been in the business. Like I've running my business for 7 years now, right? So before that, I can see always, in the social media, everyone says, I have a word, I have a word, I have a word. At that time I didn't know what do they do. Oh, you're good on you, good on you, but what do they do for my business, right? And somehow at that time I looking at as very superficial level is oh, it just look good, right? Yeah, then I can actually engage with some specialists in the field that for example in award industry there are advisors or specialists in the field. I ask them this genuine question: what does the award do exactly for me, right? So if I'm running my business, I have my clients, what does this do other than just looking good? And they actually give me some profound reason behind it, motivates me to really do that. They saying that first of all, of course, is looking good behind it is the establishing authority position, right? Because if you're recognized by some award worldwide, and which is like a good quality awards, then your authority be really good established. The second very important thing is that when you go through the whole process, the judge will look at your application, give you some feedback. That's the part you can take back to really develop and grow your business from that perspective. Because the judge will have a very horizon view to look at whatever it's there in the industry. So they will give some prompts for us to grow. So that part actually gave me a big prompt because growth is definitely keyword of my soul mission. Anything around growth is just so resonate with me, motivates me. Then at then time, and then I thought, okay, maybe it's time for me to step into it. And that that was a breakthrough too, because previously I had a fear of being seen. Like I am here and there on the social media posting here and there, but I always felt like, what if I see I'm not that good? Like imposter syndrome. You know what I mean? So I didn't really trust, believe in myself enough. But at that particular moment, I felt, all right, there's something calling me, and I've never tried that. And why don't I just break through my fear, just give it a try, see how it goes. At that time I didn't have any expectations, and of course there's someone specialized in the field give me some suggestions on based on our business needs, like a situation, what kind of award will be good to apply for, what kind of category will be good to apply for, because for my business the biggest strength is actually in the innovation side. As mentioned that probably you know that because that award recognized as world first fractional VA service. So this shows that the innovation side is quite strong. So the specialists in the field, they can already see, oh, you should go for it. You'll be recognized for it. That's why, given their guidance, like provide all the documents, whatever they needed according to the award. Of course, there are a lot of work to do. We gather all those credibilities or proofs or whatever the documents needed. And then I just leave it and have a feel. And very surprisingly, we did get award as the silver awardee, in the innovation side for B2B sector. So that was the process.
And how many months did it take you to prepare all those documents and everything and give it to them?
Preparation wasn't too long. Especially because I was guided by someone else to prepare for it. For me, because I'm in the B2B service sector, I'm very big on having opening mind to work with other professionalism or specialists in different areas to work together to leverage their skills and expertise to grow the business, right? So for me, they tell me what to prepare and I'll just go to get it. Probably just within a month, I get everything. But the whole process is very long. It depends on the award, everything, entry and waiting for the judge and the feedback. There's a few months window actually for the award itself.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's how the word are running. But by saying that during that process, they did suggest me, even during that process, it can be a marketing campaign as well. When you get nominated, you become part of the process. So you become like a marketing project as well, not just as part of the award itself. So it's like a win-win-win. At the same time, you can do a few things together. Yeah.
Lovely. So you're actually thinking more, you are definitely thinking like a businesswoman out there and, putting all your hats together and working it out as you go. So with this, let's talk about the fact that, you have been in this organization, you've been running this organization for quite some time now. So let's start with when you started the organization. How many years back was that? And how was the journey so far?
Oh wow, that was just 7 years ago. And when I started, it wasn't really my business idea at all. Because when I left the bank as a financial planner, I started to work for myself. And then during that process, I went through a hard journey because when I started to work on as a business owner, first of all, there's a shift from professional into business owner, right? So there's a lot to learn, a lot to do. And at the same time, I felt like there's something missing the spark in my journey. Because I felt like, oh, actually, at that time, I had a business coach. I did an exercise on my incompetence, competence, excellence, and genius. Just get everything around my life and work into it. And I've surprisingly find out financial planning was only my competence. Competence means that I can do it. I can do it well, but I don't enjoy love that much. Then that make me think, oh my gosh, would that be the thing I'm gonna do for the rest of my life? I don't think that I have the motivation continuing like that, right? At the same token, because I started business by myself, I need a lot of help. For example, some incompetence area, I straight away put in IT, marketing, all those areas I'm not good at. I spend many times on it, many hours on it. The outcome is just driving me mad. So I need to actually ask for someone to help. So while I was a financial planning, I asked someone to help. I gradually started to experience working with VAs, virtual assistants in today's world, right? And then that was nightmare to be honest, because instead of working on my own, I start to work with someone else. That's a lot of challenges and hurdles we're gonna experience, right? So all sort of different, if you have experience in communication issues, turnover issues, quality issues, and structure issues, anything like you start with someone and they can't do it and they finish and you have to start over again, all those sort of things. But fortunately enough, I think I was quite persistent and resilient in a way that I learned from the process because I really needed help and I really want to continue my business. And I started to form a star team. Everyone actually specialized in different areas. And I started to customize the team based on my needs because I don't have enough budget to hire 5 or 10 people full-time, part-time. That would be driving me mad, right? So I started to use that way, teamwork, to help my business. Then I thought, oh, there's a lot of people in the similar situation, right? So we are genius at something, but a lot of things we're not good at, and we don't necessarily want to do it either. So why don't I share these resources with others? And that's how literally this business started and evolved gradually along those years. Yes.
So it is definitely your idea.
It
It's
is.
not
It was
anybody else's idea. It
it
is
was my idea.
definitely your
Yes.
idea.
And then that idea is actually coming from the challenges, because I literally had that challenge. I need a lot of help, but I don't have enough budget. I need the flexibility, also need the quality, all those things. I couldn't find anyone to help me with that. So I figured out a way by myself. It truly, yeah, I think it is innovation in a way.
Yes, you did. So,
Yeah.
but you were also being very resourceful, I think, in being able to leverage each one's strengths and then being able to pull it together and knit it into an organization that could work well. So, with this, the question that next comes to my mind is then, what is your mantra? What is it that keeps you leading, growing, developing? What is that guiding principle?
Wow, I think that changes along the years. Like when I first started, at the very beginning, I was focusing on solving the problem, and I believe at the time I was looking at that value based on how much problem I can solve, right? It kind of like a proof I can do it. So that main drive was like that at the time. I truly appreciate that, because that was a starting point. I wanted to really solve the problem for myself, and then I start to share with others. So when I started business, started working with others, I was totally a title leader at the time. I didn't know. I only when I look back now, I can realize I was title leader. What does it mean? Is like, okay, I'm the business owner, I'm the founder, you're gonna listen to me. Okay, I give you this task, you do done. What happened? What happened? It's like this kind of tone, like why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? It's been like I'm as a title, at a title as a leader. Yeah. So but gradually when I work out with, there's a lot of challenge. That's why I had a lot of challenges, right? Because my state was like that. And I gradually learned how to communicate with them well. I realized they are detail oriented. I'm a big picture thinker. I need to use their language to communicate. I need to find ways to really encourage them, give them space to grow, all those sort of things. I start to think about, oh, what's the support they would need to really flourish, right? So I gradually, from a title leader, become a serving leader. So everyone started to working very nicely in their family. There are less conflict, like less people to believe, and we can start to have some momentum roll out and work out. And by doing that, there's always unexpected things happens, and there's always the space for growth. During that particular moment, I realized I was extremely nice to them. Instead of you're very picky at the beginning, and I'm extremely nice and a bit out of the balance, because some people, they are good at what they do, but attitude wise, they constantly have a repeated mistakes or errors, or the very stepping in a certain area they just couldn't really change. Then I started to talk to myself, what's wrong with it? How can I improve on it? I like to work with them, but how can I help them? Then at that time, that was about 3 years ago, I had a soul awakening event. That event actually totally changed my dimension, the perspective, because I realized I was extremely nice to them because I used to be people pleasing. That was from me as a person. I want to look after others, but the only person I forgot to look after was myself. I was actually holding my own wish or my own willingness, or certain areas I was sacrificing it because I would think I need to be good to you. So because of that, I was a bit out of alignment. I didn't have enough boundary before. Even with my kids, I was spoiling them, but if they make me angry, I was so angry. It's like a dramatic, If you're saying that assertive and calm, certainly I was in that state at the time. But after this spiritual awakening, the soul ascension process made me realize that I started to look within more. I love myself more. And surprisingly, I have more better boundary. I found out when I love myself more and more, I have a stronger boundary. That's the time I started to build some internal system with the team members, even with the communications. We want to find ways to really recognize their strength, and also we wanted to point out their weakness, and if they have the intention to grow on it, we'll build some internal systems to help them to really focus on the growth. So, and I'm now gradually growing into a spiritual leader because I'm starting to balancing this empathy and the boundary. So I'm still on this journey. I wouldn't think that would be I doing excel at, but I just look back, the whole journey, the mantra has changed, gradually, and that actually all evolved from how much I know myself, love myself, look deeply within myself, and started to reflect out. Yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Lovely. So with this, then, the question arises is, what is a conscious leader?
Oh wow, this is term, like it's very interesting. I was in this journey working with all those peoples, and for many years, leadership always show up in front of me. I never thought about it. Oh, I'm a leader. I'm a leader. I don't even think I was a leader until I had that solo working event, remember? And found out my soul power. It is around leadership. I'm naturally working with people, like what you mentioned. I'm just organically drawn into it. I didn't even no, I was leader at that time. And then, oh, I lost my mind. What did I want to say?
You were organically growing as a leader.
Oh, yeah, that conscious leader. And once I actually recognized, okay, I was organically grow into a leader. I'm working on the leadership, and conscious leadership is the recent thing, right? Just start to emerge and more popular. I just feel like when I look at it, well, first of all, because I'm not like you studied a lot, right? A lot of things for me, I don't know the definitions. I have a feel of it. When I look at it, I feel like I'm resonant with it because I think first of all, leadership, I sorted out, I organic grow into it. Conscious, like I think now I understand, especially after the soul awakening, is that I started to recognize everything, right? Reflect and internalize it and output with wisdom. It's like a process of instead of reacting, because we normally when we see we reactive to, it's more like we emerging with different situations, learn from it and grow from it. And it's very calm, very flow, a lot of challenges. It doesn't mean it was very smooth, probably even more challenges. However, we start to have the ability to face it with calmness, with internal reflections and deep thinking to learn something, to really apply back and to grow from it. So that's the whole process of consciousness. It's very conscious, yeah, instead of just react like that.
So when did the coin drop that you are a conscious leader? What happened, and when did that realization strike you that, oh my God, I am a conscious leader? When did that happen?
It's just mentioning to you, those terms actually show up in front of me until I claim it, because I was literally doing it, right? I didn't know I was that. So I think it's a part of our spiritual journey that we have those power within. We just somehow don't look at it or don't think it's us, but it's actually us. As soon as we decide to claim it, we are becoming it. So I think I still refer back to my spiritual awakening, soul awakening, soul ascension experience. Without that, give me the inner knowing and confidence to really claim my power back. I wouldn't just say I'm conscious leader. I wouldn't have confidence to say that at all. But when I now think about it, I am conscious, right? In day out, in my daily life, I'm conscious about everything. I am a leader. So I'm a conscious leader. So there you go. Yeah, literally, I'm not going from the book definition or the certificate or courses. It's just basically from what I live, who I am.
So that means when your self-awareness developed to an extent that, it struck a bell in you that this is becoming conscious in your everyday life. And that's how that conscious leader evolution happened.
Yes, definitely. It's like about becoming, being that state. It's
Right.
no longer a title, we're being as it is. Yeah.
You spoke about challenges.
Mm.
Would you like to share with us any challenges, any number of any either one or any other challenges that you have had, which will, make us understand better as to, what are the challenges that you have faced, which shaped you
Okay.
to become this leader that you are now?
Okay. I think given the time, there's so many challenges, but there was so many challenges. I found that there was one major life lesson I've learned, which has affected to all aspect of my life, right? So that was very interestingly from my relationship, a love relationship. During that, I was so totally codependent before because I was very relying on others. I didn't believe my own self-value. I was get my own confidence from other people's validation. I'm looking outside of myself. And from a love relationship at that time, I started to work with my spiritual mentor and then gradually realized that because of that, I was lacking of the securities. So I was extremely control, like in my business as well. At the beginning, I was controlling freak, totally controlling freak. But many years when I'm running the business, if I haven't realized this life lesson, I wouldn't change. But during that time, when I realized, okay, actually, that's from my spiritual mentor. She said, in the relationship, right? All your these reactions because you want to control. You want to control how he think, how he react, how your relationship go, whatever it is. And she said one thing, really, how to say, inspired me. She said, letting go of control will affect your leadership too. Oh, I said, oh, really? Okay. So I started practicing my relationship with a love relationship, right? So how to really look into myself, let go of the control, and then a surprising thing happened. Myself has changed from that experience, and I start to apply that calmness, the assertiveness, and the boundary and the self-belief into myself. My relationship with my team has changed. It started to evolve, literally like what she said, because that's my life lesson. It's in my life. However, it reflects to my business. I started to have a better conversation with the team members, and they started to feel because I no longer need to hold them like this. I give them space, let them evolve. But at the meantime, I still have the boundary, right? So all the mechanical, like a movement, it started to not rigid anymore. It's like a flow with everyone. It's changing all the time, but everyone has a kind of I give them freedom too. If you want to leave, feel free. But many of the team members, very surprisingly, they've been with me with many years. Yeah, even though sometimes they don't have much work to do, but they like to get involved and grow together. So the letting go of control, that lesson has taught me about everything. So my love relationship, my business relationship, my relationship with my kids, with my mom, with my friends, everything has changed. So from then I realized one thing. Challenges is very inevitable and they are the signs and they are the opportunities for us to learn to grow. The main thing is that whether we can find what's the underneath life lesson we got to learn. Once we unlock the puzzle, everything else will just unfold very magically. Yeah. So that's the main experience I had.
So it is all about locking the puzzle, and it's
Yes.
all about letting go so that then you can have the space. But you kept repeating one thing which I held on to, and that is creating that boundary as well. So while
Yes.
you are letting go, while you're being conscious of what you're doing, while you're letting in others come into it, there's a
Yeah.
boundary that you maintain.
So true. So true. It's a balance act. It is a balance. Yeah, at the end of the day.
So lovely. How beautifully said. The balance that you maintain. Okay, so now that you are a successful businesswoman, you have evolved into a conscious leader. What is the legacy that you are going to leave behind? If you look at it, from a future perspective, what is that lasting impact?
Given my personal experience on those past 7 years, and I still believe I have many years to go, right? Because the growth journey is endless. For whatever I've learned, I have this mission and passion now to really share with others. I started actually with my team members. We have empower other younger leaders in our team, with my kids, with the friends around me, with the community. Now, actually, actively, I want to be a speaker and on your podcast. That's literally my true intention. I want to share these messages out. So the legacy, I think, in one word, probably is really lead with love. And this lead with love is more like starting with love ourselves. Because as the leader, we lead ourselves first, right? I used to neglect my responsibility for my own self. I realize now that's my own responsibility, even though we call it universe or source or God, whomever it is, they look after us. But without taking our own responsibility, we can't really stand up very strong with a solid strength. So lead with love from ourselves, then we can create this ripple effect out. So that's what I literally wanted to pass this energy and a message out.
Lovely. So you're actually talking about leaving a lot of love behind you.
Yes, yes.
You are actually talking about a lot of love and creating that space where you can create that love. So you talked about, loving yourself, that you have been neglecting yourself initially, and now that you have learned how to value yourself,
Yeah.
what are the sustenance practices that you follow to keep loving yourself?
Right. I used to think love myself. I used to think I love myself. Like I give myself free time and I do this, do that. If I want to buy this, I go some travel, I do it. I thought I had a freedom. However, that was only physical freedom at the time. When I did my soul awakening and the day, my teacher said, you're so harsh to yourself. You're so cruel to yourself. So I said, what? I thought I loved myself. But no, you sabotage yourself a lot. Then I realized, even though I'm physically very free, I always felt some draining of burden, like a very heavy inside of me or conflicts. All those symptoms you can say it is, you can post or whatever it is, it's very common. It's like outer we achieved a lot, but inner we still don't feel fulfilled. I had that period of time very long. So the main shift was really again from instead of outer, doing something like you feel like make my how to say pleasure. Separate the pleasure and happiness because they are truly different. I used to do those things because it's a temporary pleasure. The intention was from desire because I wanted to buy this, I want to do that, I feel like I can do it, then I feel like, oh, I'm happy. But once I finish, gone. The feeling is gone. It's temporary. It's empty, right? So the feeling is totally empty. Then I started to really learn what does it mean love myself. Then my spiritual mentor said, it's a long period. It's a long journey. Wouldn't be that easy, but the concept of it sounds very easy. It's accept everything, the things, the people, whatever. But everything we were doing that, oh, let's accept this, accept that. The most important thing is that a lot of time we don't accept ourselves because if we don't have that within ourselves, we can't do for other people. We keep saying you got to accept this, accept that, but all the time we don't accept ourselves, right? I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not smart enough, and don't have enough money. This all those self-touch things. But now the main shift is I start to really look myself as a soul. I look myself in the mirror. I look at my strengths and weakness and recognize all of them. Whatever it is, I start to accept as who I am. I see the true value now. It's not about what I do. It's not what I achieve. By simply existing in this world, because when source created us, everyone is uniquely different. We are here already have a value. When I recognize, accept that, everything is back. I feel like everything is back to me. That feeling is amazing.
I can see it in your smile and I can see it in your eyes That feeling of amazement is there, absolutely glowing all over your face. How would you like our listeners, our audience to connect with you?
Oh, I think the simplest way, easiest way to find me on LinkedIn, just Joanna Zhang, my name. If there are multiple of them there, just put operations. I believe I will show up.
All
Yes.
All right, that's fantastic. Okay, but Joanne, this was fantastic. And I would like to thank you for sharing your insights and experiences with us. I'm sure this is going to empower our audience, and your wisdom is invaluable and fantastic. Fantastic meeting you all over again. I'm sure we'll keep in touch. So let's do that.
Thank you so much. Lovely to spending
Thank
time with
you.
you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much for being here with us.
Thank you.